Hello everybody, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2. Today I have a tutorial for you how to make this journal cover. So it's made from canvas and collage paper with some paint and ink treatments. So I am gonna go through that with you step by step. I do want to mention I did get this idea from Paula at Oneluckyday.net. So she has a terrific tutorial blog post, and I will leave that link down below. I did use some different things than she did because I didn't have all the stuff, so use what you have. I encourage you to use what you have. Okay, so it is canvas, and you guys all know it's a very heavy woven fabric. A lot of times it comes in different colors. This is sort of the classic color, and that's what I used so that we could choose our own colors and stuff for the sprays. And I used collage paper. This is Tim Holtz collage paper. This particular one comes in a box. These smaller ones come in a plastic tube like this. So couple of different ways to buy those, but like I mentioned, use what you have. I just happen to have some of those, and I do love it. I mean, it's really good quality. So all right, so let's get started. Let me show you a little bit more about what this is. So I just have a muslin tie, and I didn't finish, but I did start to stamp on it. So if you do a tie with some stamping and spraying on it, just make sure the stamping is done with archival ink that won't bleed. Or if you prefer that look too, because that's what this is, it's sort of grunged up, then don't worry about the archival ink. But so I just stamped some random leaves and then did some spraying on there. And like I said, I didn't finish the whole thing, but I plan on finishing the whole thing. Probably do it double-sided as well for a fun tie, but any tie will do, or no tie. Okay, so here it is. I used a lot of the pieces from these bigger rolls. There is one with architecture and a lot of moths, so that's the one I used, and I'll show you in a second how to go about starting. And then the inside is like this. All right, and the next thing, so we need canvas, collage paper, matte gel medium. This was on clearance, $26 down to $6.49. That's amazing. So I was super happy about that. But this is Liquitex, and I absolutely love this stuff. Absolutely love it. Okay, so there's that. Of course, you need some brushes to brush that matte gel medium on, and then you'll need some sprays, either spray stains or no, like these aren't marked the way Tim Holtz marks his, but these are more of a permanent spray. Tim Holtz has the distress sprays, which become a little bit diffused, but if you'd rather see spots, clear spots, then just use more of a permanent type spray. So I grab some whenever I can find it on sale. Tuesday morning is usually a good spot. So I've got all kinds of little bottles of things. So you need those too. And then also acrylic paint. So just any old acrylic paint will do. All right, so let me show you how to begin in this part. There are lots of steps, not lots of steps, but there are several steps, and there's drying time in between each one, so so you can't be in a hurry too much. So we would take our collage paper, and if there are any features on the paper that we want to highlight, like this one, you turn it over to the back and you paint with your acrylic paint. Just give it a thin coat on the back, and then when you flip it over like that, let it dry. And when you flip it over, you've got a beautiful colored moth. So now I used a lot of sprays on here, but you can see that this is highlighted a little bit. This one you can't, it doesn't show as much. I used green on here, but there's a lot of green sprays, and so that one's not quite as clear. It still looks cool though. I'm super happy with it. So the first thing to do is paint any highlighted areas you'd like and let it dry. Okay, so we're done with that. And the next step, excuse me, is to spray with our, ink sprays, whatever we have, whatever your look you're going for, whatever colors you're going for, and then let them dry. So you can also tear these into smaller pieces. This journal has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pieces on here that are just collaged together, and the back has probably about as many, about 4 little pieces that are collaged together. So you can do your painting, you can do your spraying all on a big piece like this, or you can do smaller pieces and then just collage them on. I think I did it that way. I did the smaller pieces and then collaged it on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a try. Collage paper is very strong, so it is hard to, I say it's hard to rip, and then I just ripped it super easily. Excuse me. Okay. So just some smaller pieces. Okay. Okay, and so I covered my surface with paper towel because I'm going to do some spraying on here. And move my cord out of the way. So this is sprayed quite a bit, and you don't have to do it quite that strong. I do like the look of this, but I might try for a little bit of a lighter look this time. So just give it a spray, and now I turned it over, so this is on the back. And then every once in a while, take a peek and see what how it's going. And you can let it dry between colors. You can just let the colors blend together to make them more muted. Okay, and if you leave some white areas, the canvas will show through, and that will be cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray again. And that's a pretty color. Okay. You can experiment a little bit. If you make a mistake, or if you accidentally get too much color in one spot, you can just dab it a little bit. I'm going to put some glue on here too. My glue is running out a little bit, but I want to sort of tie in the butterfly color. Okay, I think that's probably good for now, and I'm going to dry this and be back in a second. And this is what you have. So on the back we have our sprays and or acrylic paint, and then now we'll be using our collage medium to attach this right onto the fabric. This actually looks really cool like this, doesn't it? That looks cool too. And however you like to do it is going to be perfectly fine. Okay, so the way to do this is to take your canvas very simply. Very, very simple. And take your collage medium. And you can do small areas at a time. Now I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but I am going to show you. So I kind of want this front and center maybe. So I'm going to put that on there like this and really press it in. Make sure your hands are clean, there's no glue on them or anything like that, and just press it in. You're sort of melding the two layers together. Okay, just press, 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 press real hard. And then once this dries, you'll be able to see the texture just coming right through, the texture of that beautiful canvas. Okay, so there's that. And like I said, you really could leave these edges, but I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more collaging. And this maybe has dried a little, so I'm gonna, yep, and if you do get some overlap, make sure you put more collage medium in between the two layers. Okay, press that in. And as you can see, I'm going over the edge because I want to make sure that the whole edge is covered. And it looks like I need another little dab there. Okay. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. I really like that jagged edge. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze this underneath. Yep. Okay. And press. Okay. Okay, and press, and then I think I have another piece I can use right there. Okay, so all right, and then you're going to go over the whole thing. I see I need to get a little bit underneath there. You're going to go over the whole thing with a layer on top. A layer of the gel matte medium. Just a thin layer. And I'm telling you, so I've used Mod Podge before for different types of things, and I've never really been too happy with it, but I like this gel matte medium a lot. So if it has a few wrinkles in it, not to worry. If you work in smaller pieces, you might not have as many wrinkles. Okay. But not to worry because it's a grungy look. So the wrinkles are just going to be enhancing. Okay, so there we go. And that's how you go about making the cover. So go ahead and finish the whole cover and then let it dry. Let it dry. Now, I'm going to put this in water. And I'll show you one that's completely done. That's ready for the next step. Cindy made this one. She's here visiting this week. And she made this one. It's all cut and trimmed and squared up, so it's ready to go. So she's got her her beautiful design like this. So she's ready to go. She did the same thing, used paint on the parts she wanted to highlight, sprayed the back of it, and Mod Podged, or not Mod Podged, but gel matte medium the collage paper on. So she did it exactly the same way. She did something interesting here too, is she sprayed after she had covered the surface with the matte medium, while it was still wet, she sprayed some of the Distress spray stain on here and made some lighter areas really, really pretty. So lots of ways, fun to experiment. Okay, and so this is what it looks like. You might have some leak through there, no big deal, or it might maybe just came from your mat or your paper towel or whatever, but that's no big deal. That's going to be inside. The next step, now that the cover outside, and I have to tell you, this feels like oilcloth, and it even sounds like oilcloth. I mean, it's really, really an awesome, it's got an awesome feel to it, so it's very exciting. Okay, so now we have the outside done, and it's dry. Meanwhile, while that's drying, you could actually work on the inside cover. So the inside cover on mine looks like this, and it's just sprayed. You put matte gel medium all over the canvas, all over the plain canvas, and then while that's wet, you're going to spray. Use your ink sprays and then let that dry. So now both of these need to dry, and we've got our layers. And Cindy and I both felt like the two layers of, you know, collaged and sprayed and the medium really made this a nice thickness for a journal cover without adding anything on the inside. So the next step is to sew around the outside edge. To get, to get these layers together, what we do is we take our matte medium again, and we are going to cover the back side of either the cover or the I'll just call it a lining. So either the lining or the cover, doesn't matter, but on the back side of that, we're going to spread our glue, which is our matte medium again. Okay. And I would probably work in sections on this so it doesn't dry. And I would also have a tendency to go pretty much right to the edge. So just take your brush that on, and then once that's all done, or one section at a time, line up your two pieces. So you'll need to cut these about the same size. Now mine shrunk when it dried, hers did not, so I don't have an idea at all why mine did and hers did not. Maybe it was a different brand of fabric, I don't know. But so squish them together. So now, and do, you know, peel this up, do some more, do some more, do some more, and then squish them together. Just press it really hard. And then what I did was I put some books on it and just let it dry. On mine, on this one. Okay, so there we go. So we have the outside cover and the inside cover. Okay, so after those are dry, then you can round the edges, you can sew around the edge. I'm trying to remember, did I say to sew it already? I maybe said that prematurely because the outside cover and the inside cover have to be glued together with our matte gel before we sew it, and it has to dry before we sew it. But I did not have a problem at all sewing this, but make sure it's totally dry. Okay, and then let me scooch this out of the way. I just love the way she did that ink, like after the fact, right? Okay, so I sewed in some plain signatures, just kind of random papers, and so there are 80 pages in here, and just sewed the signatures directly into the spine. And then this wrap, as I mentioned, is just sprayed and stamped, and it's a muslin. And I'm going to finish that. I'm probably going to make it a little bit more muted, more sprays. But for now, I just wanted to come on real quick and to show you the new journal cover. I'll leave the links for Paula at oneluckyday.net. I'll leave the links for her down below. And if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer the questions for you. Thank you for joining me today. I love this little journal. I don't have much canvas left, but I'd like to make a few more. You can use these collage papers of Tim Holtz are already colored, and they would be super cute, either mixed in with some plain or by itself, or, you know, tear off the little birds and put them on, you know, more of a plain paper. So you could even use ones that are pre-colored like this. Would be gorgeous. So lots of possibilities. Use what you have, something similar. Maybe you're super fond of Mod Podge. I don't mean to knock Mod Podge, but I just haven't had much luck with it. But I did find this, and I'm super happy with it. So that's a highly recommend from me. But take care, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.